YouTube! I am Pinstar, and this is Factory Town Strategy and Tactics Quick Tip. So today's quick tip is going to focus on happiness, as well as just generally the types of things that you get when you supply your houses. Now, supplying your houses with goods of various types will net you several different benefits. We click on this thing here, on this house here. We can see it is a level 4 house, almost level 5. It's got quite a bit of things in inventory. Actually, a lot of things in inventory. But its happiness is only 10 out of 17. Well, why is that? Well, if we mouse over the happiness bar here and then click on it, that kind of locks it into place. This gives us a rundown of the different forms of happiness that a house can have. And we can see here, like, let's take basic food. We are supplying this house with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different basic foods. We've gone above and beyond with supplying different types of food to this house. And yet, they're not all that happy. Why is that? Because at their current level, they can only realize 5 points of happiness. While they will accept the goods beyond that, it won't count towards the happiness. There is a law of diminishing returns. You can only eat so much before it doesn't quite make you as happy as the first bit did. It is said that the first potato chip tastes way better than the 10 millionth potato chip. But the way you can get your happiness rating up higher is by fleshing out the limits of your houses and the different categories. So having different clothes, having different medicines, having different education. As far as keeping yourself diversified, this is kind of the key to keeping your people happy. And to that end, it is sometimes useful to continue supplying a lower tier good than it would just maxing out and focusing all of your production on a high tier. Let's take education, for example. We are currently supplying this house with books, and that's great. That is making them happy. However, they have 2 possible points of education, and we are not quite teched up enough in this current playthrough to start producing any of the other books yet. But we do still have the predecessor to the book, paper. But by not providing paper, by shuffling all of our paper into book production, we are denying ourselves a point of happiness across the board for all of our houses. So when it comes to expanding out your different territories here and your different production lines, pay attention to what your houses want and how many of those different categories you can have, because it is very easy to get overwhelmed with one particular category and go nuts with it, only to realize that you're not getting the most bang for your buck, or at least the most happiness. Now, speaking of bucks, this excess food that we're feeding them isn't going entirely to waste, even the stuff that's over the happy cap. We're still getting paid for those things, and it is still giving them experience points. But ultimately, in my opinion, happiness is probably the number one thing that you want out of your houses. Yes, coins are good, but once you've got a ton of coins, the additional coins are not as useful to you. And yes, they level up, but eventually houses will reach max level and can't level up any further. So what is the longest lasting benefit that you want to focus on? Happiness. The main reason for that is twofold. One, happiness contributes to your global happiness goal. When you reach that, it allows you to level up your population, which allows you to build more houses, which allows you to get more coins and experience and happiness across the board. It is always good to build your houses. In fact, we've been slacking on building our houses in this particular save. Don't take this save as an example. This was just a test playthrough area. But the other reason, and probably the biggest reason for keeping your happiness up nice and high, is this. if you look at any of your businesses that are both in range of your main city hall and also hooked up by road, they gain the benefit of both the number of workers and your happiness. And the higher your happiness, the more of a percentage bonus your workers get. And this isn't even counting bonuses due to your town center's specialization type. This is just a raw happiness bonus. So it can be good for your production across the board to focus on and make sure that you're checking all the boxes on your happiness, rather than hyper specializing in a couple things. As well as if you are teching up, don't forget some of the lower materials, because maybe, just maybe, it would actually be worth your while to push them in and distribute them rather than using them all for the higher tier goods, just so for the sake of diversity within the category. So, I hope this helps keep your towns and population happy and thriving. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment. Good, bad, or indifferent. Your feedback's always welcome. So until next time, this has been Pinstar signing out. See ya!